Good morning. Today is Sunday, December 14th. I'm recording a Freestyle Friday this morning at like 8:20 in the morning. It currently here in Zionsville, Indiana, or West Carmel, it is actually 0 degrees out. 0 degrees with a negative wind chill factor of 21. So today we'll be staying inside. If this is your first time to Freestyle Friday, welcome. This is uncut, unedited, unscripted. I have 0 notes in front of me. I've just got a brain full of things I'm going to unload today. There's going to be some ranting about some things, probably some repetitive stuff we talked about before because I feel like we haven't gotten our point across yet. They say that you have to hear something 7 times before you actually take it in. So this may be the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th time I've said something on this podcast, but maybe today's the day that you make that change and it happens. So I see everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people saying, I want to be the next this, right? I want to be the next Kobe Bryant. I want to be the next leader in the mortgage industry of the, comparing themselves to these other people. There's a lot of big time producers I'm friends with in the mortgage space, but you trying to be the next them is holding you back from who you really could be. So think that through for a minute. If I start focusing on trying to be the next this person, like if I said, okay, I'm going to be the next John Maxwell, or I'm going to be the next, Ben Newman, or the next Ed Milet in my space. What happens is I start focusing on trying to become who they are and doing things exactly the way they do them. And I stop having the uniqueness of who I am. I lose my identity because I'm trying to become someone else. We've all seen that person, right? Like we've all seen that person that if you listen to them, you're like, oh my God, they sound just like this person. Well, because that's who they're trying to be. And I've had some really good compliments lately. Someone I talked to the other day said, hey, when I heard one of your recordings when you spoke last year or earlier this year, you sounded a lot like Ben Newman or even Ed Milet on stage. Great compliment. That's not what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting to be the best version of myself. And once I realized that, I stopped really trying to conform to what they do and who they are, right? Being unique is how you win at a high level in anything. Delivering the message based off of your thoughts, your story, the way you feel about it is the difference maker. If you go on social media, you see everybody copying everybody trying to go viral, right? Like, especially in the mortgage space, it's like everybody's posting the same videos. Everybody. Some of them take off, some of them don't. I don't understand the algorithm. I have no clue. This may only get one view. I have no idea what's going on with that. But I can tell you this, when you listen to me on my podcast or when I'm on stage, I'm unique. I'm different. I'm going to be the best version of Chris that possibly can. This morning, I was in here already knocking out my journaling and reading the book I'm reading and getting prepared for my week ahead. But how many of you are trying to be the next person that's in front of you? I want to be the next Kobe. I say Kobe Bryant because there's a Kobe Bryant jersey behind me, but the next Kobe Bryant or the next Michael Jordan, or in the mortgage industry, the next JJ Mazza, the next Gavin Ekstrom, right? These are guys that are powerhouses in the mortgage space. Why don't you focus more on being the best version of you? Be more of you, because people want to do business with you. They don't want to do business with a clone of somebody else. And I see so many people start hitting their stride trying to be someone else. And then when they get to that level, people realize that, hey, they're not being authentic with me. And then the business starts to slide and come back down. Right? So be the best version of you. Like, I'm going to be the best version of Chris Welton I possibly can. I'm going to work every day to get better. I'm not trying to be someone else. Yeah, do I read and look into see how people got places because success leaves clues? Of course. Do I use tactics that I see other people use to compress time and get better? Yes. But I'm not using them to become lazy and just carbon copy and be someone else. I believe that's one of the biggest differences you can take away for 2026 and really evolve into that leader you want to be, that producer you want to be, that father you want to be, that mother you want to be, by being more unique and understanding who you are. Some of you may not even know who you are anymore. You're so wrapped up in trying to be somebody else, right? We pay all this money to go learn from these gurus or people we look up to, or trying to be just like them. Well, they're already in that space. That's already them. Okay. Take the education and the stuff you learn and pour it back into yourself to figure out a way to become a better version of you. Right. I study a lot. I'm a nerd in my industry. I spend a lot of time in books and listening to people and watching how people deliver speeches and what they talk and understanding how different books are written as I start to write other things. But I'm always very critical on the filter, making sure the voice is mine and it's being delivered that way. I've had people DM me that are friends of mine that are in the industry say, hey, you should do it this way or you should do it that way. I appreciate the input, but maybe I'm not trying to be you. Maybe I'm trying to be a little bit different than that, right? Like some people can make comments about, man, I think you self-soothe when you're on camera, you're touching your face all the time. No, I've got a nervous tick that I can't control, unfortunately. And it's just who I am, right? Like if you see me speak, you've been in a boardroom with me or a conference room with me, you see I have a nervous tick. That's just who I am. So it's not self-soothing. Now I want to step into something else. COVID was almost 6 years ago. Almost 6 years ago. I still hear people today telling me stories about the business that they closed during COVID. And man, if we could just get back to those numbers again. You need to stop that. You need to stop thinking about the numbers that you closed during COVID, because the truth is most of those numbers had nothing to do with you. They just happened to be this craziness in the market where everybody was doing well. And we wear those on a badge on our shoulder and we did this much business. Now, how much are you doing now? What kind of business are you doing now? Maybe look back at COVID and look at the lessons you learned on how you could be better prepared, a better leader, somebody who serves their clients at a higher level that continue to win. Now, I'm blessed to work with a lot of high producers in the loan origination and mortgage industry. The ones who are most successful right now, my most successful clients in those spaces, are younger. They didn't have a bunch of business going on during COVID. Some of them weren't even in the industry during COVID or just starting out. And they're crushing it right now. Why? Because they're not basing everything off of what they used to do during COVID or what happened during COVID. The truth is that business that you had during COVID, again, didn't have a lot to do with you. If you weren't doing 6 or 7 times what you did before COVID, all you did was capture business that was coming your way. You weren't creative. You didn't go out and build and do some different things. I've seen multiple people that have done that, crushed it during COVID, but never slowed down since. They learned lessons. They kept going after the business. They kept their foot on the gas. And then I see a ton of companies fail, they flounder. They keep looking back at the way business used to be and hoping it's going to come back and counting on a refi boom and all these different things. What if a refi boom never comes again? What if we're at the rates we are for the next 15 years? I tell you what if. You're going to be broke. You're going to run out of waiting money if you haven't already. And again, I've seen a lot of that happen. A lot of transition right now, people moving companies, changing, doing different things. I don't care what company you go to. I don't care how anything else happens with your business model. If you haven't pivoted and tried to find another way to do business, it's going to be effective. That's going to be unique and bold on who you are. Right? So let's stop copying everybody else, hoping that it'll work. Figure out what makes you unique, what makes you different than your competition. What's your origin story? What you can share with people and why they should do business with you and select you over someone else. And then do the work, right? Do the work. If you're not coached, you need to find someone to coach you. Bottom line, I'm not saying it needs to be me. I'm not the right fit for everybody, but you got to find somebody else to help you bridge the gaps and get where you're going to go, because most companies don't have the leadership to do that right now. Some companies do. And guess what? Those leaders are coached, right? Those leaders are coached. But one more time before I wrap this up. Be the best version of you, because if you continue to chase trying to be the next whoever that is, you may miss exactly who you're supposed to be. And what if you're supposed to be better than them already, being that version of you? What if you already have what it takes to get there, but you're so focused on trying to copycat their business and their life that it's holding you back? Right? What if it's holding you back? So I go out every day and try to just be a better version of Chris. That's who I am. God blessed me, put me on this earth with one arm, so I was different from the start, right? So that's my plan, is just to stay different, be bold, unique, and keep moving towards the direction I want to go, which is be the most impactful coach on the planet. That's my goal, is to impact more lives positively than anybody else. Where are you trying to go? But more importantly, who do you need to become to get there? And it's not the next version of Kobe Bryant or the next version of the leader in your industry. It's a better version of you, and clarity and vision on who you need to become to be that person. You just keep evolving, keep getting better, pouring into yourself, spending time on yourself, reading, doing the things that require you to get better, and then get uncomfortable and do it again, right? Get uncomfortable and do it again. We have a new book that's going to be out later this year, or later in 2026, sorry. And it's going to cover a lot of the strategies and tactics that I've used in my life to figure out to go after the things that are hard, because those are the things that are going to change your life. So if you're listening to this today on a Friday morning, go do something hard today. Also, maybe take some time and think about where it is you want to go and how you can become the best version of you. If you like this, share it, subscribe, send it to somebody else. If you don't like it, tell us how bad we are. We'd love to hear that too. Hope you have a great Friday.